I want to become big is a desire. I want to remain small is also a desire. I want to become a national brand is also a desire. I want to remain a local brand is also it's still a desire. So what's the solution? Vyasa is saying, Arjuna comes to the battlefield and he is overtaken by his personal emotions. The situation here is very different. Somebody who is not righteous is trying to take over the entire kingdom. And trusting Arjuna will fight for righteousness. Several crore people and several kings of several kingdoms, coalition politics, have all come to assist Arjuna, believing he will lead them from the forefront. And everybody is already there in the battlefield, and right now he is consumed by his personal emotions. He sees, how will I fight with my own brothers, my own grandfather, and my own teacher? And a sense of attachment and bondage to all of them is making him feel that I should not fight this war. I'll have to go back. 18 chapters come, essentially to tell Arjuna something. Your personal emotions cannot come in the way of you performing your duties. I repeat. There are many things which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. One of the essence of Bhagavad Gita is your personal emotions cannot come in the way of you performing your duties. Here you have duty as a king. You have a duty towards your subjects. If right now you consumed by your personal emotions, you do not execute your responsibilities, your duties, all those people who believe that you will lead them in the right direction, what happens to them? The application of this is, Veda Vyasa is trying to tell you, you can go through a personal setback. My grandmother died today. Tomorrow is salary day. Salaries have to get paid. What you're going through is a personal emotion, but that does not permit you to shrink or shun away from your, tomorrow is salary day and salaries will get paid. I have a love failure right now. I was in a relationship and somebody had left me, and I have a personal setback right now. And I've already committed that this project will be completed and the delivery of this app or software or furniture or a building or whatever it is. Or I said that I will release the movie on this date, or I will complete the 6 songs for this movie and give it to you. There is a deadline driven activity, and I have said that by May 31st I will ensure that it is delivered. Right now my life has gone through a personal setback. I have to deal with it. But Krishna is telling you that's not an excuse for you to shun your personal emotion is your personal emotion. That you are a leader, you have to find a balance between you fighting your personal emotion and still what must be done, must be done. You cannot let your personal emotions incapacitate you. In your case, you are the head of an organization. The honor of the organization to uphold the values that the brand has stood for is much, much greater than your personal emotions. A kingdom cannot suffer because of the emotions of the king. Then you are not a worthy leader. And I am not saying this. 18 chapters was to convince Arjuna there is no place for your personal emotions letting you incapacitate you when you have taken certain responsibilities. Trusting you, everybody has come to the battlefield. In your case, trusting you, people have joined you. What sort of a leader you will be if that is your sense of responsibility towards any any duty that you have assumed. So one of the first messages Vyasa, Krishna is giving you is, if you have taken up a responsibility, no personal emotion of yours is going to incapacitate you from executing that responsibility. If something has been given to you as your duty, not just from a professional perspective, even as an individual perspective, if this is what you have taken that you will do for your parents, or this is what you have taken saying that I will do this for my children, it has to be absolutely unconditional. 2. Same context. Vyasa is telling you something else. Once you have made a commitment, it has to be unconditional. Otherwise, it's not a commitment. You have said, I'll fight this battle and win the war of righteousness. Now there's no going back. Now don't start talking problems. I also took a commitment that I'll stand by you, Arjuna. When I told you I'll stand by you, Arjuna, as a charioteer only I came. Right now, seeing that you don't want to fight the war, the circumstances have changed. I am not shunning from a commitment. I am not saying then I will go back. I have taken responsibility for you and I'll completely take responsibility. Even if it means I will transform you and make you win, I'll transform you and make you win. But I'm not shunning my responsibility and going back. A commitment is a commitment. Just because circumstances change, you cannot drop yourself from your commitment levels. You still uphold your commitment levels. That's when you grow in your own eyes. Otherwise, you don't grow in your own eyes. You know Mahabharata. I am bringing application to your leadership and application to your business in this entire context. Already communicated 2 things to you. 1, there's no place for your personal emotions for you to fail in your leadership. You have to manage your personal emotions, but you have to succeed as a leader. 2, if you made a commitment, just because circumstances have changed, you cannot bail yourself out of a commitment. A commitment is still a commitment. If you want to grow in your own eyes, otherwise you will not be able to respect yourself. As an escape to this entire thing, Arjuna says, I've come here to realize I don't have desire for this kingdom. I don't want. If we have to fight war, and that's the only way you can be a king and you can have a kingdom. I don't want all these things. I want to go. I will also start meditating. I want to commit myself to a spiritual life. I'll tell you what's there in Mahabharata. I'll tell you the application after that. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're not ready for a spiritual life. There can be spirituality in your life, but spirituality cannot become your life. There can be spirituality in your life, but you're not ready to make spirituality as your life. You're not ready for that. You're still a man of desires. To grow in spirituality, you should be able to relinquish desires, renounce desires. The fact that you're desiring spirituality itself is a desire. The fact that it's still a desire. So you're a man of desires, and a man of desires cannot make spirituality his life. It's not possible for you. You're not ready for it. Your issue is not this. Watch this. Watch the wisdom of Vyasa. Your issue is not this. Your issue is, there are twofold things he comes here. Same message, but there are 2 directions he's giving here, Vyasa. Anybody who desires for himself, at some stage will suffer because of bondage. Because desiring for yourself creates bondage. You get attached to it. Whether it's the car, whether it's a house, whether it is personal wealth, it creates a bondage, and this bondage at some stage will make you feel very claustrophobic. Desiring for yourself will create bondage in your life. 1. 2. Anybody who desires for himself, when he faces too many challenges, at some stage he will feel like giving it up. This thing about, I don't know whether I want to continue to be in business. Up now you have faced a lot of hurdles, and suddenly you feel, should I continue to do this or not? You're facing, Arjuna's situation is like this. He is facing competition. So this mind is thinking, if I have to fight wars, if I have to keep killing people, if I have to let people die, if I have to go through all these things, then only I can have the kingdom. Then I don't think. Some of you face this out there. When competition gets very high, you feel, sometimes I feel, is it worth being in business? No, another question you all have. How long should I run? You have not even started running it. Already people ask, how long should I run? I keep asking myself this question. And Vyasa is saying, anybody who desires for himself will, one, suffer from the claustrophobia of bondage, and two, when he faces too much issues and too much competition, suddenly he feels he should shrink his. You can't give up desires because you are still a desiring person. But he thinks he should shrink his desire so that he doesn't have to face this. I want to remain small. Is still a desire. I want to become big is a desire. I want to remain small is also a desire. I want to become a national brand is also a desire. I want to remain a local brand is also it's still a desire. So what's the solution? Vyasa is saying, stop desiring for yourself and start desiring for others. When you want to do something for your son, you will go to any extent. You may not go to any extent for your sake. When you want to do something for your parents, you will go to any extent. Whatever hurdle you face, you will still go through all these things. When I want to do things for others, think about all of yourself. When you want to exercise for your personal fitness, you find motivation such a difficult thing. When you wanted to get your sister married, did you find that hard work? Did you find that as hard work? When you want to do something for yourself, you have to clean your own shelf. You want to clean your own shelf, you can't. You want to get your daughter married. Any work looks like work for you? Some of you sitting here who can never motivate yourself to exercise on a regular basis. But suppose I tell you that, can you just carry the sofa from here to the third floor and leave it there? Would you do it willingly? Somehow our love for others makes us feel we can endure anything for their sake. For your sake you won't, for their sake you will. I'll give another example. Most of you can relate to it. For your sake to remain awake to study. Mahatria, change the topic. When your child was not sleeping, as a father, did you find it difficult to stay awake because your child was crying or your child had fever? You felt anything for your child was worth it, but you are not still ready to do the same thing for your own sake. That's where the master stroke of Vyasa comes. Vyasa says, now that you are a desiring individual and you cannot stop desiring, channelize your desires. Don't desire for yourself, desire for others. There's happiness in desiring for others and fulfilling their desires. So Arjuna, don't fight this for your sake. All your people deserve to live in a kingdom of righteousness. All your people deserve to be led by leadership that is righteousness. So not for your sake. Because if you don't do this, somebody who was ready to derobe your wife into semi-nakedness in the court, if he rules a kingdom, what do you think will be the dignity of woman in that kingdom? And in a kingdom where women don't have dignity, what sort of life will children have? He is asking all these questions to Arjuna. What happened to your wife? Do you want it to happen to your entire kingdom? It should never happen. So don't fight this war for your sake. Fight it for others' sake. What's my application here? If the only focus for you is personal wealth, that I want to ensure that I am worth so much, my net worth is so much, at some stage you're going to either suffer because of bondage, or when you find too many challenges or too many hurdles, at some stage you're going to lose interest in what you're doing. You're going to think like all these things. How long will I run? Should I continue to do? Sometimes I wonder whether I should be in this or not. I feel I will give up business and go and join politics, as if that's easy. No, I don't think politics is easy. I'll become Mahatria. That's even easier. Everybody wants to be a teacher on life. Recently somebody told me, nobody is giving me a job, so I've decided to give myself a job. What? I'm going to teach. What are you going to teach? How to be successful. He's going to teach everybody how to be successful. So as an head of the organization, desire that I want to ensure that I'm an answer, I'm a solution to at least hundreds of thousands of customers. Some persistent issue in your industry, desire as an entrepreneur, that you're going to build in your industry an organization where some of the challenges which the consumer is facing out there in the market or customers are facing out there in the market, they will not face because of you. Some headache in the world will be solved because of you. Some problem in the world will not exist because of you. You're going to create an organization which is going to be a dream for. This kid is joining a new organization. She is going to take up her first job from 13th. And she is only a representation of thousands of children across this country. This May and June will go for their first job. And in 2 months, 3 months time, most of them feel their job is boring or they're not learning anything. What it is for us to build organizations where for most people who are taking up their first employment, they think that they were in a dream job where, they were challenged, they were created, the talent was brought out, that potential was brought out, they found out what to do with their life. What will it be for us to create organizations where you are the most sought after place for anybody who's seeking their first job, their first employment? What will it be? What will it be to create that sort of a financial surplus through which so much can happen to the society, all that I listed in the beginning? What it is if you are a game changer in your industry, the way you do the business, the rest of the industry changes the way they do business, looking at how you do business. What if you become the benchmark to the entire industry? So Vyasa is saying, desiring for yourself is a very low level of living. Desire for others. As a byproduct, when I desire that all of them should live in a kingdom of righteousness, byproduct is I become the king of that kingdom. Your personal prosperity, your personal wealth, your personal growth, your personal fulfillment, your personal toys, they all will come to you as a byproduct. That you have made it your nature. As simple as, even when I'm talking about desiring for others, as simple as, what if you create an organization which is so seamless, so structured, systems in place, and that's what you will hand over to your children when they are 25 to take over and run. Because you all came into a business where you had to still make the mistakes, you still didn't have things in place, you will have to discover everything yourself, and you went through all these things and day-to-day competition because yours is not an established brand, you fought through. What if you guys are able to build a brand, build a culture, build such systems, build such maturity into the entire thing, bring in all these systems, technology, everything, have an outstanding strategy, create a world-class product, and by the time your son or daughter is coming into the business, you have a business which is a dream for people to even be employed, and your children can come and own that business. What sort of a legacy are you creating for them? கொடுத்துட்டு போனான்ல திருபாய் அம்பானி, முகேஷ் அம்பானிக்கு ஒரு ரிலையன்ஸ் எம்பையர், அந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்துட்டு போனா பசங்களுக்கு. So Vyasa is saying, at some stage of your life, and for you today is the day, you have to transform yourself from desiring for yourself to desiring for others. And your personal desires will be fulfilled as a byproduct to the whole thing. He says there is liberation and there is sustained motivation in this, born on a very simple psychology. If you have to do it for yourself, you may not. But if you have to do it for your loved ones, you will go to any extent to do what? So he's saying just love the world and desire for what can happen to the world through you, and lot will automatically happen.
Saya यहाँ